What's going on, everybody? My name is Scotty Hastings. I am the archery sports director for the UCO Endeavor Games, and I'm a professional archer myself. I shoot with the U.S. Paralympic program, and I am also the coach of the U.S. Army archery team. Today, we are going to go through some stretch band exercises that you can do at home. I know being at home, being quarantined, it sucks. I get it. But we're going to go through some stretch band exercises that you can do basically to keep the muscles firing the way that they should. We're going to focus mainly on your shoulders and your back. We're not really going to get into like squats or anything like that, which you should still be doing. But we're going to do some stretch band exercises that you can do at home, and let's get into it. All right, so with me, I have limited mobility in my hand due to nerve damage from being shot in the shoulder. So I'm gonna do it a little bit different than what some of you guys would be doing it. Some of you guys can grip this thing. I really can't. So I'm gonna do it a little bit differently. But we are going to jump right into it. When I'm starting, I like to work with a full-size band. I don't tie anything up or anything like that first. I'm gonna go through some exercises that I do on a daily basis that I know that a lot of the other para archers do and other professional able-bodied archers do as well. The first one I'm gonna do is having my arms straight out, about shoulder width apart, and then basically just bringing them out, focusing on squeezing those back muscles together. So taking your back and literally squeezing them together to make this happen. That's all I'm doing right there. So every movement that we're gonna do is gonna be very slow, very controlled. It's not a lot of quick movements to rip and all that stuff. If you're doing quick movements to rip it or moving your body to make it happen, then you need to go down to a lighter weight stretch band. So that's gonna be the first one, is literally just using those back muscles to bring your arms apart. Starting here, shoulder width apart, bringing those arms apart using your back muscles. Get those back muscles firing with this, and it'll be so much more effective moving forward into the other exercises that I have for us. We're gonna do 3 sets of 10 on every exercise that I talk about tonight. The next one that I do is I have issues with my rotator cuff because of being shot in the shoulder. So I take the stretch band in my hand, the way that I hold it. Some of you guys can just grip it. I hold it like this, turn sideways, put quite a bit of tension here, and then literally just do this. Get that, and everything is slow and smooth. You're not rushing anything. You're not throwing your arm or your head or your shoulder forward. We're just working on that rotator cuff. These were just warming up that spot that we're gonna work out. So that's basically all that I really do with the full length. All right, so for this next one, I made a knot with a little loop there. I am going to put it on a bow press because that's really all I have in here in the range. So I'm gonna put it on a bow press. You guys can basically tie it around anything. Like if you have a basement, you can go in the basement, tie it around one of those metal beams or basically anything like a banister. So for this one, so for me, of course, I'm gonna wrap it in my hand like I always do. But I'm just gonna show you on this side for right now. So for this one, you're actually going to have a little bit of tension in the stretch band, and your arm's going to be extended out. So all you're doing is bringing this hand that's holding the stretch band down. That's all you're doing. You're not going like crazy far back. You're not moving your shoulder, your body to do it. It's just arm out, arm back, arm out, arm back. Again, everything is slow and controlled. Really focus on having it be in your back here. Really focus on having it in your back. It's not in your shoulder, it's not in your hand. Really focus on using that back to bring your hand back behind you. So 3 sets of 10. Then moving forward, you're going to turn your back to it. You're gonna have tension in the stretch band. You're going to start with it at your side, and you're going to bring it forward. Again, with this, you don't have to be crazy way up here, just straight out here. Just straight out. That's all you have to do. Focus on isolating that rotator cuff, isolating your shoulder. Moving on, we're going to take it, we're going to hold it like this, and we are going to go like this. This is the movement right here. Elbow stays planted right on your side, and you're going into your body. Just like this. That's the movement that you're making here. So holding it, elbow stays planted, and I'm going into my body. Into my body. Again, we're focusing on the rotator cuff. The rotator cuff is really easy to tear. Trust me, I did it in this one. So for the next one, we're gonna keep that elbow planted in your side. The hand's gonna come in right up against your belly, and you're gonna come out. So you're starting here. You're starting here, and you're gonna come out this way. Starting here, come out this way. Again, focusing on the rotator cuff. The rotator cuff is extremely important in archery. Hand starts here on my belly, and it goes out and away from my body. My hand does. The elbow stays planted, goes out and away. Just like that, 3 sets of 10. All right, so for this one, we actually tied it together to make it into a nice loop. Basically just a knot. Make sure that your knots are tight, because you do not want to smack the heck out of yourself with one of these. So this is actually going to be the same with the rotator cuff, but it's going to add a lot more tension. So now that our rotator cuffs and our back and all that are nice and warm, we're actually going to put a little bit more tension into it. Again, we're not trying to build insane amounts of muscle. We're just trying to keep everything fit and working the way it's supposed to, getting those muscle fibers firing so that when you go to pick up your bow, it doesn't feel like it's the first time you've ever shot. So we're gonna put hands in it, just like that. Elbows stay at your side, and you're just moving out. And I want you to hold it for 5 seconds. And then back in. Notice I'm moving out slowly for 5 seconds, holding it, and then I'm coming back in slowly. I'm not jerking my hand out and in. So everything is slow and smooth. For the next one, we're gonna do the same thing. For me, I have to keep it on my wrist. For some of you guys, you can put it like on your hand, like that. But for me, I do it on my wrist just because that's the only way I can do it. So we're gonna bring our arms out again. Remember, this is adding a little bit more tension to something that we've already done. So arms straight out, focus on using that back. Once you get to the furthest amount that you can get, either the stretch band stops it or your muscles stop it, hold it there, 5 seconds again. And then bring it back in slowly. Remember, you're focusing on the giant muscles in your back to make this happen. It's not your arms, it's not your shoulders, it's the muscles in your back that are making this happen. You're gonna hold it for 5 seconds and then slowly bring it back in. All right, so now moving on to a more specific exercise for archery itself. So you're going to take the one that you tied together. You're going to put your hand on the knot, your bow hand, the hand that you would normally hold the bow with, the knot is going to be right in the middle of it. You're gonna grab the other end and you're literally just gonna draw back your bow, but with a stretch band. So come up, come in at your anchor. Once you're at your anchor, or you're looking forward, just like if you were shooting your bow, once you're at your anchor, you're pulling with that back muscle more and more and more for 5 seconds. So when I get into my anchor, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you let down. So again, 3 sets of 10 on that, and it will make your shot, your archery shot, it'll make it feel smooth and easy. You can also work on not only getting this muscle to remember that it has to pull through the shot, but you can also work on your release. So if you're a recurve archer, take your fingers, just like if you were at anchor, and focus on your release. You're not flicking your fingers out, you're just kind of relaxing your fingers, and it's shooting just like if you were shooting your recurve bow. Exact same movement. For us compound guys, if you go to your local shop, or if you don't have the availability of the local shop, you can do what I just showed you. But if you do have the availability to go to a local shop, or you know how to tie a D-loop, you can actually take an elastic band, tie a D-loop on it, take your release like you normally would on a compound, lock it into that D-loop, and you can literally do the same thing. Come up, get set into anchor, and pull for 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pull for 5 seconds, and then bring it down. Again, 3 sets of 10. And this is incorporating your release. That way you get more used to having that release, either holding your release or having it wrapped around your wrist if you're using a trigger. Or it'll help you get more used to your hinge, like how much pressure you can put on each finger before it just decides to go off. So again, come into anchor. With this one, you can do the same thing. Just like if you were normally shooting, take a shot. Just like if you were normally shooting your bow, except you're using a stretch band to do it. So those are just a few exercises that you can do with stretch bands. But I hope that actually gave you guys something to do while we're all stuck at home. So yeah, again, my name is Scotty Hastings. Hopefully I see you all at the UCO Endeavor Games. If you're out there, definitely come and shoot archery, because it's the best sport. It really is.